Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel, Poison People MTG. I'll be your host, Elena Horvath. Alright, so this is my Triumph of the Horde deck. So, a lot of these creatures in this deck aren't born with Infect, so to speak. So, the idea behind it is just to play a bunch of big green stompies and play this Triumph of the Hordes and run all my opponents over at the same time. Because what happens when I cast this is to end turn, creatures I control get +1/+1, gain trample, and infect, which is gross. So let's introduce our big stompies. We got Rampaging Balos, or Balis, I'm not sure how to pronounce it. And he's a 6/6 trample for 6, and whenever a land enters the battlefield under my control, I may put a 4/4 green beast creature token onto the battlefield. This is an example of what a token would look like. I love my tokens. And next big green stompy is Primal Crux. He's got Chroma, so his power and toughness are equal to the number of green mana symbols and the mana cost of permanents I control. Alone, he's a 2/4/6. He's a 6/6 trample. Just imagine with all the other double greens. He can get gigantic. Up next, we got Garruk's Horde. He's a 7/7 trample that lets me play with the top card of my library revealed. And I may cast the top card of my library if it's a creature card. Of course, you need card draw. And most of the creatures in this deck are beasts, so I got a Garruk's Pack Leader in there. Whenever another creature with power 3 or greater enters the battlefield under my control, I may draw a card. This one in particular doesn't care for the card type, but the Wirewood Savage does. So whenever a beast enters the battlefield, I may draw a card. So that eliminates the risk of me unintentionally, drawing my entire deck and having myself lose the game. Got a little distracted from the green stompies, but here's a Protean Hulk. He's a 6/6, and when he dies, I can search my library for any number of creature cards with total converted mana cost 6 or less, and put them into play, then shuffle my library. So if people kill him, they're going to regret it, because then I'm going to go get the real deal. I'm going to go get the Spinebiter, because he's only a 3/4 and he costs a lot, but he has Infect and Super Trample, so I can have him assign his combat damage though he weren't blocked. And then I'll go get probably 3 Glistener Elves. Why not? Little 1/1 Infect guys. Here's a couple of one-ofs. This is a 9/9 Shroud. So Triumph of the Hordes doesn't target, so that gets around that. It just gives all my creatures +1/+1 infect and trample turn to turn. So he's effectively a kill shot all on his own. He has 10/10 trample. I also have Garruk Wildspeaker in there. He lets me create beasts, and he also has an overrun ability, which is -4. Creatures I control get +3/+3, gain trample until end of turn. So if I just got regular infect creatures out, he bumps them up really nicely. And here's what my 3/3 would look like. Got a little foily version of him. Oh, I love foily tokens. They are so cool. Then I got a little couple extra mana producers to level her up, and she adds 2 mana. I have a good amount of elves in this deck, so if I level her up to 5, I can get a bunch of mana, because each elf would produce 2 green. And of course, when you're the only infect player, you gotta try and gain life, because everybody's gonna be swatting at you. So for 5 mana, I have no maximum hand size, At the beginning of my upkeep, I can gain 1 life for each card in my hand. So it's good with the elf that lets me draw cards when beasts come into play, which is the Wirewood Savage. It's always good to have a bit of spot removal in the deck. So I've got some beasts within. I can destroy any permanent, and its controller gets a 3/3 beast creature token onto the battlefield. And that also will benefit me because Wirewood Savage does not say whenever a beast enters the battlefield under my control. It's anyone's control. I get to draw a card. And I just really love the art from New Phyrexia. It looks so cool. Badass. But that's new art. Not as cool. And in this deck, I was lucky enough to be able to get a bunch of New Phyrexian lands. So there's only 2 arts for green, but I love them. It looks so gnarly and twisted. Hopefully I can get enough lands to replace all my infect decks with New Phyrexian lands. I hope you guys enjoyed my video, and I'll talk to you guys later.